This painting came about with 4 close friends, myself, Christine Clark, Betty Myers, and Cheryl Sear. And we've known each other for long enough to know that we like to do projects together. We had noticed this fantastic skyline from the balcony because Christine had a curatorial position at Xchanges at that time. And just as a project for the 4 of us to do together, we decided we would take this skyline and cut it into 4 arbitrary pieces, all the same size, and then draw out the one, and whichever one you got, let's see, south, east, south, southwest, west, that was the one you painted. So there are 4 paintings here starting from east to west. And I got the last bit, and I got to do the old building right here, Capitol Iron. And I hated doing all this machinery right here, but I like doing those signs right there. On the whole, it was a lot of fun, and the best part was doing this roof down here.
This is my painting behind me, which is black, and it's quite a bit different from the other paintings, and it's more of a silhouette, I guess, less detail. And I don't know, I didn't really come to sort of a conclusion before I started the work. I just knew I wanted to work on paper, and I knew I wanted to start from black, and I just kind of let it roll from there. And what I realized as I was working that I wanted to keep it really minimal, which was much more difficult than I had expected it to be. And I was thinking a lot about Lance Olson when I was making this work, and I was also thinking a lot about Cy Twombly, 2 painters who I absolutely love, just because of the fact that they are so minimal, but at the same time they're so expressionist. And so I guess that's what I was trying to capture in my piece, and I'm pretty happy with it, so it was good. Thanks.
I'm Cheryl McBride, and this is my painting. I'm involved with Christine, Betty, and Helen, and this has been an explorative process of giving ourselves a project and each getting to work on it. So my piece is acrylic on canvas, and one of the challenges for me was the size of it. It's larger than I normally paint, and a lot of my paintings are of nature, and I haven't done a lot of buildings, so that was another element for me that was really challenging. But once I got into it, I thoroughly enjoyed it, maybe because it was hard and I had to work to make it look good. I will say that the palette that I've used is not my normal palette. Frequently I come from a very dark background and build my lights on top of that. What I've done here is I started brighter than what I've ended up with, but in order to get all the colors working together, I just kept toning them down. And I also really wanted to represent a very bright sunny day where some of the lines in the distance are just obliterated from the bright light. So that also led me to the palette that I'm using for this painting. So I didn't try to make it perfect, but I tried to give a sense of the space going back, and we were all totally captivated by this view of Victoria because it's the backdoor view. It's not the beautiful view from the inner harbor. It's not Dallas Road. This is the working end of the Victoria cityscape, and we were really happy to paint it.
You asked me why a triptych. Simple answer, it'll fit in my Toyota Echo, right? So I only paint things that'll fit in my car. So my interpretation of all this, I was hit by the bright blue building that's in mine, so I needed to balance that with some other bright shapes. So I just played up the color so that I could have a bounce of different bright colors. And colors are interesting to play with because they come forward or go back according to what's next to it. So you play with the color bouncing back and forth in space, and then you also have repetitions of different shapes, like the red shape down here. These windowy kind of shapes repeat here and here and here and here, you know, and move back in space as well. So that I enjoy playing with. But when I got it nearly finished, I was thinking, this isn't Victoria because you need people in Victoria. So we're in this worker area, so I said, my gosh, I got to get a worker sitting on the roof having coffee, right? So feeding the pigeons, so that makes it Victoria, so you have the sense that you're near the water. So to accentuate that a little more, I have a seaplane, so you know you're by the water. And then I have the color moving back, and this bright red repeats itself at City Hall, so that your eye goes to City Hall, which of course is important in my painting. So anyway, and then I have this guy here, then I have a guy in the window, the guy washing windows here, and a guy way over here waving to you. And the hint of people in the windows a bit, you know, around, just to make you know a city is not just building, it's people. And so then I have his t-shirt, it says, I love Victoria, right? Really ham it up. So that's my painting. Is that enough?